Open Book Chapter 1, The Art of Mastering Your Mind. Imagine you're in the middle of a storm. The sky roars with thunder, the air seems to leave, and the wind pushes with fury. Cold rain hits your face like small ice needles. You feel chaotic and out of control. Open Book Chapter 1, The Art of Mastering Your Mind. Imagine you're in the middle of a storm. The sky roars with thunder, the air seems to leave, and the wind pushes with fury. Cold rain hits your face like small, ice-cold needles. You feel chaotic and out of control. But you stay serene. You haven't ceased or calmed down. You've found an indestructible center, a core where nothing external can touch you. That state isn't magic or a talent special to a few. Lucky is an art, and like all art, you can learn to practice and perfect it. Dominating your mind doesn't mean eliminating emotions or living without conflicts or difficulties. It means becoming the director of the internal symphony of your mind, the sculptor. Your thoughts and the architect of your answers are like a beautiful garden, but sometimes it's hard to keep things in check. To understand the power of calm, first you have to understand the invisible prison that most of us imagine when we think about our minds. On the surface, you might picture your mind as a sea, with the waves representing your emotions. Those emotions can be like the stormy sea, with feelings like anger, anxiety, frustration, and fear. These emotions can be unpredictable and make you feel like you're being tossed around, making you react on the spot. It's like being a slave to your emotions, right? It's important to understand that waves automatically react to traffic, a criticism of a comment on social networks, or a small setback. It's easy to get caught up in the rhythm of our impulses without realizing that each reaction reinforces a reactivity cycle, making us puppets of our environment. When we lose control, we might shout, run away, or become paralyzed, which only strengthens invisible chains of our emotional prison and false control. Some people believe that controlling the mind means repressing emotions and acting as if nothing affects, but this approach isn't healthy. Some people find it hard to express their emotions. But that's not the way to do it. Suppression doesn't work. Sooner or later, you have to learn to live with your emotions. You can't let them take control. It's like training a wild horse. You can't kill its instinct or stop its energy. You learn to ride it, to direct its speed, and to transform its force into motion. The objective is not to be a cold statue, but a teacher who channels each impulse with wisdom. That's the real source of power. True power doesn't come from yelling louder than others. It comes from staying calm when others lose their cool. Being calm isn't about not feeling anything. It's about being fully aware and choosing how to act. No matter how chaotic things get on the outside, the people who are respected and admired are the ones who take a step back to observe before they respond. They are the ones who listen, breathe, and react instead of just responding without thinking. Those people aren't insensitive or indifferent. They've just learned to take care of their minds and not let the outside world do it for them. It's all about being reactive, you know. That's why it's so hard to take charge of your mind. Your brain is set up to react, not think about the past. When a predator showed up, there was no time for deep thinking. The brain went into survival mode, fighting, fleeing, or freezing. That programming sticks with you. It's there for good, but today, the predators are your boss. You get a notification out of the blue. Hey, have you ever noticed how sometimes you might have a couple of discussions, and your brain just responds without really thinking about it? It's like your brain just reacts automatically, without giving it much thought. It's like always taking the shortcut through the forest without really paying attention. The more you do this, the more you start to rely on these patterns. You start to react without really thinking about it. It's like you're a prisoner of your own habits. You react instead of thinking. But here's the good news, you can learn to respond instead of reacting. That's the key to finding freedom. It's all about taking control of your mind. You don't have to be a puppet of your impulses. You can be a conscious observer. When fear or sadness arise, you can observe them, recognize them, and know what to do with them. The answer is to pause, reflect, and consciously choose the best action. It's normal for your mind to want to react immediately. You might want to shout, blame, or defend yourself, but you can resist that first impulse and choose to pause. Each pause is a crack in the invisible cage. The power of self-observation awareness is such a powerful thing. It starts with self-consciousness, you know. We can't control what we can't see, right? So, The first step to taking charge of your mind is to just observe it. Don't judge it. Be like a scientist studying something, and really pay attention to your reactions. Hey, let's have a friendly chat about awareness, shall we? The first step to taking charge of your mind is to take a look at it without passing judgment. Picture yourself as a scientist studying something interesting. What are your reactions like? What worries you? What makes you feel insecure? Try not to push those feelings away. Just pay attention to what you're experiencing. You understand what you observe, and you can use that understanding to make positive changes. Every emotion has its roots, and each automatic reaction has its own story. By looking closely at those roots, you can start to rewrite the script of your mind. Take a moment to calm down every day and shape your mind. It's not about achieving something specific, it's a practice you can do every day. Every day brings new tests, traffic, misunderstandings, and unexpected events. Each one is an opportunity to stay calm. Take a breath instead of reacting, and observe before you act. This will make your stronger consciousness muscle. Calm, no. It's a journey, a habit that's cultivated little by little, one decision at a time. With time, these practices become second nature, and what was once a source of stress becomes a source of calm. In today's world, where many of us are struggling to keep our emotions in check, having this calm is like a superpower. It's not just a virtue, it's an asset that helps us stay grounded when others are losing their cool. It's the ability to think clearly and stay composed when others are losing their grip. Some people are loud and give orders. Rules are there to help us, but we have to be careful. If you're calm, you're strong. The most important thing is to be in control of yourself. Whatever happens, you can always be calm. Start today by practicing being calm. Don't wait for a storm to see if you can stay calm. Even when things are hard, when you're waiting for something, or when someone criticizes you, each of those moments is a chance to learn. Go inside yourself, and you will find freedom and strength. One day, you will experience a storm on the outside, but on the inside, you will find calm. This calm is your power, and it is already inside you. All you have to do is claim it. Open Book, Chapter 2, Reply No Reaction. The art of choosing who you are at every moment. The difference between a life lived with mastery and a life lived at random can be summed up in a single idea: not to react. This is the essence of inner freedom, the hidden key of those who manage to advance without being dragged by each wind. It's the fundamental ability that separates those who control their destiny from those who are slaves to circumstances. But what does it really mean? How come it's so difficult to respond? The reaction and reflection of a mind without discipline is the youngest path. Resistance is what your mind does when you're on autopilot, and that's okay. It's just your brain's natural way of dealing with things. Those are the instincts that let you survive and keep you safe. If someone insults you, you react instantly. You defend yourself, retreat. If something frustrates you, you tense up, your thoughts speed up, and your words come out without thinking. Reacting quickly is a natural reflex, and it's sometimes hard to see the value in that reflex in certain situations. When our ancestors lived in a world full of predators and rival tribes, they had to be fast. They couldn't stop to think when a danger was close by. But today, most dangers are psychological, relational, or emotional. So, it's important to be aware of this. When you react automatically, you might do more harm than good. You have to stop and think before you react. That's how you can turn a reaction into wisdom. History is like an art. It's all about creating a space where you can think clearly. The difference between reacting in a way that's not kind and choosing a more compassionate response lies in how you handle the situation. It's about deciding whether to shout back when they attack you or look calm. It's about choosing your words wisely when facing a problem instead of running away. It's about letting your fear guide you or taking a moment to breathe and move forward. And it's about recognizing that responding to others' comments is a sign of a strong mind. It's about letting yourself be influenced by others' words without letting them control you. The psychiatrist can help you understand the space between what you experience and how you respond. Viktor Frankl wrote something really beautiful: between the stimulus and the answer, there's a space where we hold our freedom and our power to choose. It's a simple idea, but it's powerful. No matter what's going on in your life, there's always a little bit of space, a little loophole of freedom where you can decide. The problem is that most people don't know about this space. They react without thinking, and they feel angry or rejected. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that sometimes life can feel a bit overwhelming, and it's totally normal to feel a little ashamed. But remember, everything happens in the moment, and you have the power to choose how you react. Your first training is all about rediscovering that space within you and making it feel safe and comfortable. It's like a sanctuary where you can find your peace and strength. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that to live a calm life, you have to change what's happening around you. You might feel like you need to make others happy or make the world more fair. But, let's be real, that's not the most helpful way to look at things. The truth is, you can't control everything that happens around you, and that's okay. My dearest friend, the true freedom that we all seek is learning to find peace within ourselves, no matter what challenges we face. In the midst of chaos, we can find calm. During moments of injustice, we can find clarity. And when we feel overwhelmed, we can tap into our inner wisdom. How can we train our conscious mind to respond instead of react? It's not an innate talent, it's a mental muscle that we can nurture and grow stronger with each day. Here, you have a practical system to help you strengthen this muscle. Take a look. When you feel an impulse, don't do something without thinking. Pause and notice what's going on inside you. See the tension in your stomach, the heat rising to your face, and the words forming in your mind. Don't reject these feelings. Just notice them. This is the first step to taking control. What you observe doesn't control you. What you ignore does. You too, names are given to emotions. They help us express what we feel. I'm angry, I am frustrated, I'm afraid. But if I don't name the emotion, it separates me from you. I'm not angry. I feel angry. You are not. Your emotions are your own space. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathing is the bridge between the body and the mind. Every time you breathe slowly and deeply, you're sending a message directly to your nervous system. There's no real danger. I am in control. Take a few deep breaths. That'll help you respond from a place of strength, not one of reacting to pain like a child. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? This is a powerful question to ask yourself in the middle of a tough situation. Do you want to be someone who reacts on autopilot, or someone who makes wise decisions? Do you want to be a slave to your impulses or the author of your own life? Choosing to be the person you want to be over and over again is the way to true fulfillment. Hey, friend. So, Transformation 5 is all about responding from your values, not from your emotions. Your values are like your inner compass that guides you when you respond from your principles, not from the emotions of the moment. If you value peace, respond calmly. If you value honesty, answer with truth. If you value respect, respond with dignity. Every answer from your values reinforces your identity and lessens the power of a reaction. Hey, we've all been there, right? When we react without thinking, we're like a toy in someone's hands. Our emotions can be easily influenced by what we're going through. Our thoughts might become predictable, and we might feel a bit weak. It's like someone who learns to press our buttons can control us. There's nothing more sad than feeling like a prisoner, right? But, the same response can also be a reward. If we respond clearly and respect others, we're showing that we care. And when we're calm, we have more authority. You should show yourself some love. Every time you make a conscious choice, you're planting the seed of self-respect. It might feel like a challenge, but it's the only way to live with your best self. Remember, true strength is often found in the little things we do every day. Whether it's having a hard conversation, dealing with a misunderstanding, or navigating a minor setback, each of these moments is a chance to grow. When you feel the urge to scream, pause and ask yourself, is this the real battle that's defining my life? It's not happening outside of you. It's not in your work, your relationships, or the chaotic environment around you. The real battle is happening in a more intimate and silent space within you, your mind. In the invisible terrain of your thoughts and emotions, you're fighting a war every day, and very few know that. There's a war going on inside your mind between two forces. On one hand, there's your mind that's primitive and reactive. It's programmed to protect you from hazards that no longer exist. On the other hand, there's your conscious and strategic mind. It's part of you and capable of observing, reflecting on, and choosing each thought, every impulse, and every decision. It's like a minefield where your reactions, automatic, fight to impose themselves on your ability to respond calmly and clearly. Most people never realize this. It's hard to see the forest for the trees, isn't it? When you're in the throes of a war inside your head, it's all too easy to get caught up in the moment and identify with every emotion that comes your way. If you're feeling angry, you're angry. If you're feeling afraid, you're afraid. It's like you've become a prisoner of your own impulses, and it's tough to see the bigger picture. But don't worry, we've all been there. The key to understanding why your mind can feel like a battlefield is to take a look at how it was shaped. Your brain is an amazing thing. Over thousands of years, it evolved to help you survive. In the past, it was important to react quickly to run away from danger before it could get to you. It was also important to be wary of strangers and potential threats. Your primitive brain is still with you, and it helps you stay safe. It's great that it can tell the difference between a real threat and something that isn't, like an email. It's hard to tell the difference between criticism on social networks and a deadly attack. The same is true with fear and anger. You live with old software running in a modern world, and you might not realize that software dictates each of your decisions. Your mind receives thousands of stimuli every day. Some are external, like messages, news, and comments. Others are internal. Memories, fears, insecurity, we all have them, and they can all stir up strong reactions in us. For example, if your boss criticizes you, you might feel angry. If someone doesn't answer your message, you might feel anxious. If you look in the mirror and feel insecure, you might feel that way. Each emotion seems real, urgent, and uncontrollable, but they are not necessarily real. They might just be automatic responses from a brain that hasn't learned to pause. The chaos is not out, it's inside. Even when you learn to govern the world exterior, you'll always have the power of a shake reaction or response. This line defines your life. When it happens, you have two options, react or respond. If you react, you allow the first automatic impulse to control. If you do what you say, what you do, and what you decide, you're working in reflex mode without reflection, moved by an emotional automatic reply. Space is all about emotion. When you take a moment to observe your thoughts, breathe deeply, and choose what to do, it's like you're giving your mind a break from the reactive instincts. Every time you choose to answer, it's like you're giving the old software a little boost and strengthening the part of you that's truly free. Your life, at its core, is the sum of how many times you react and how many times you answer. Each reaction makes you more of a slave to your mind, and each answer is a self. It's so much easier to be deceitful when you're not bound by any rules, you know. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I totally get it. I know it can be really hard to beat yourself up over things you do, especially when it feels like they define who you are. A lot of people might say things like, or I've always been impulsive, or I'm an anxious person with a bad character, but that's just a way to make yourself feel better. Your attitude might be in your DNA, but your reactions come from what you've been through. You've had some tough experiences, and they've shaped you. But the things you've learned through those experiences aren't set in stone. It's a shame when you get stuck thinking that your reactions are who you are. It's like you're stuck in a box, and you're only seeing one side of yourself. But, you know, it's not all your fault. It's normal to feel angry sometimes. Hey, just remember that you're not defined by your fears. Hey, just remember that you're so much more than your fears and your thoughts. You're like a space where all of it happens, and you've got the power to observe it, question it, and rewrite it into tools that can help you overcome any internal struggles. It's not about trying to erase your emotions or constantly trying to be calm. It's about learning to manage chaos in a way that doesn't let it control you. These are some essential tools for your self-empowerment journey. You are more than your thoughts. You are the space where all that happens. You are the one who can observe it, question it, and rewrite it as tools to help you dominate the internal battle and win this war. Internal does not mean eradicating emotions or living in a state of artificial calm. It means learning to govern chaos without letting it control you. These are some essential weapons in your arsenal. Most people flee from themselves and avoid the silence because they fear what might happen. But the first step is to observe without judgment every thought and each emotion. What did I mean by reacting the way I did? What am I telling myself without there being any power in controlling the strategic pause? Every time something shakes, a comment, a bad news story, or a discussion does not require an immediate response. Make a ritual pause, take 3 deep breaths, and take a step back. Hey, just a friendly reminder that this space is like your own personal gym where you can work on strengthening your mental muscles. Your mind tends to tell automatic stories, and sometimes these stories can make you feel a bit down. But here's the good news, you can challenge these stories and create new ones that make you feel more positive. This feeling of rejection is actually a sign that you're growing and evolving. So, don't let the criticism bring you down. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to make positive changes and grow even stronger. Action, emotion, feeling, anger, these are all part of being human. But sometimes, they can push us to shout or run away from our feelings. The good news is, you don't have to do that. You can choose how to handle your emotions. Start by just observing them. Then, try not to act on them. Remember, practice makes perfect. And the best way to practice is by doing it every day. Even the smallest things can teach us a lot. For example, waiting for a green light instead of running can help you save a little energy. Or, that email that takes a while to send. Use it as an opportunity to practice being patient. Every time you answer instead of reacting, you're getting better at handling your emotions. It's a battle, but you can win. When you learn to govern your mind, you'll see that the outside world loses its power over you. You'll find that criticisms slip and no longer define your value. Fear won't dictate your decisions, and you'll become the stable center of your own life. True calm is not the absence of chaos, but the certainty that nothing external can control your internal response. You're not indifferent, and you have the power to respond in a way that's right for you. I've learned that everything that matters is within you. The daily challenge is to be your own teacher. This battle isn't won in one day. Every day is a new front, and every moment is an opportunity to practice. Each emotion is a chance to remember who you really are, not the impulse or automatic thinking, but the teacher who chooses each day to be a training field. Breathe, reformulate, respond, and every time you choose to answer. From the heart of your being, you nurture the muscle of your freedom. Interior conclusion, your mind is your own personal kingdom. If you don't rule it, you might be ruled by your past or the environment. But you learn from winning the daily battle of your reactions. You become the creator of your life, and there's nothing more powerful than that. This is the internal war, and victory is always an option. The choice is yours to make. Open book chapter 4. The power of the conscious pause. Life can be fast, can't it? We all know how a hurtful comment, unexpected news, or an offensive gesture can make us stop and think. We've all had those urgent decisions that we made in an instant. Something external touched an internal fiber, and before we knew it, we were reacting. We said words we didn't mean to say, or we did things we'll regret. We reacted on impulse, not from the clarity in that tiny space between the stimulus and our reaction. And that, my friends, is what defines our destination. In that same space where lies the secret of calm, the pause is aware of what is. It's a pause to gently let go of what you feel is not, like swallowing your anger or ignoring your fear. It's an act of sovereignty, an act of creating a space between what happens and how you choose to answer it. It's a momentary pause, a break where you recover the command before the reactive mind takes control. It's a space where the primitive mind is silent. The conscious mind is like the captain of our thoughts, keeping us grounded in the present moment. It's like a constant observer, seeing the world as it is right now. It's all about immediate answers, instant notifications, and quick decisions. We've been trained to confuse being efficient and fast with being intelligent. In this fast-paced world, taking a pause might feel like losing time, but it's actually where the magic happens. True intelligence is like a filter that transforms an emotional impulse into a well-thought-out decision. It's the difference between reacting on instinct and acting with a clear mind. As a teacher of your own being, you know that pausing can be uncomfortable. When you feel attacked, your adrenaline kicks in, and you're compelled to defend yourself. Your mind might want to run away or attack, and you feel immediate relief. But pausing is challenging that instinct. It takes courage to feel the discomfort and not act on it. The reactive mind might hate the pause because it takes away control. Pauses. I understand that pausing can sometimes be confused with weakness, like when someone takes a moment to think before responding. But the truth is actually the opposite. Pausing is a sign of strength. It shows that someone can hold themselves back for a few seconds, which is a power that not many people have. Just look at the amazing leaders, expert negotiators, and inspiring individuals who don't speak quickly. They are the ones who truly listen. To observe, they think, pause, and then respond from clarity, not from instinct. The pause is not just a mental act, but a physical one, too. When you're faced with an unforeseen criticism or a verbal threat, your body enters defense mode. That part of your brain that's primitive is turned on as an alarm. Your heart accelerates, your muscles tense, and your mind fills with arguments and reactions. But when pauses interrupt that biological waterfall, take a deep breath and let your body relax. Your parasympathetic nervous system is like a sign that says, hey, there's no need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. When you pause, you create space in your mind, and that opens the door to your best self. Pause is like a friendly habit that you can pick up and keep. It's like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, you might only remember it after you've reacted, but with time, it'll become a part of you. I totally get it. You're building strength in that muscle by taking a little break every now and then. Before you know it, you'll be choosing your answers like it's second nature, even when life throws you a curveball. That pause goes from being a technique to becoming a part of who you are. It's like a mini transformation, you know. Think of the pause as a special moment for yourself. You don't need to meditate 4 minutes at a time, just take a moment, a second, or even just breathe. That's all you need to find that microspace within. You might be wondering, what do I feel? How do I want to answer? Who do I want to be right now? That tiny moment has the power to change everything, a conversation, a decision, even the course of your life. Pause to observe your ego. You can see what normally happens unnoticed, your ego. Your ego is like a guardian who wants to protect you. It makes each criticism feel like a mortal threat. It makes you want to defend yourself and be recognized. Your ego is like a little control center in your mind, and it's always running. You can catch yourself reacting, and you might even recognize it. But here's the cool part, you don't have to let your ego run the show. You're more than just your ego, you've got a conscience that can step in and see the bigger picture. Take a moment to pause and notice the feelings behind your reactions. Sometimes, anger might just be fear. Impatience could be hidden anxiety. Sarcasm could be a way of feeling insecure. In the heat of the moment, all of this can happen without us noticing. But when we take a step back, we can see it all clearly. If you see it, you can work it. You can recognize that your own wound, not the other, is what makes you angry. You're frustrated by your fear of lack of control, not the situation itself. That clarity only exists in the pause. Exercises to train the pause are available to help you become more aware of your pauses. If you want to make a conscious pause part of your nature, you must practice it. Here are some simple exercises to help you strengthen one pause. When you wake up, before looking at your phone or getting up, pause for 30 seconds. Take a moment to pause and reflect on your day. Set an intention for the day, and let your mind and body settle in. During the day, take 2 pauses to set reminders at random times. Pause and notice your breathing, and jot down your thoughts. When you're ready, return to the present. 3 reactive pauses. Each time something happens, like receiving an email or an aggressive tone, or making an entry, pause and breathe. Don't act on your initial reaction. Observe and then respond. 4. The night pause before sleep. Think about how many times today you reacted. Think about how many times you pause without trying. Just like an observer, the hidden power of pausing is incredible. Who pauses can see. Who can see can choose. And who you choose is truly free. Most people react because they don't know there's another option. You now know that every time you pause, you're claiming that freedom. You're telling the world, I've come to realize that it's up to me, and not the circumstances, to decide who I am. In a world that's always moving and running, taking a pause is like putting on your own personal power suit. It's your unique signature, your mark on the world. Pause, and you become the boss of your own brand. You're not a slave to the environment or your past, but a creator of your present. Pause, and you're not just taking a moment for yourself, you're sending a message to yourself, I deserve this moment. I'm here to answer your question from the best version of myself. When you learn to pause and master your life, you'll find that you're in control. Open Book, Chapter 5, Fear is a Liar. If there's an emotion that controls your life without you realizing it, it's fear. It can make you feel like you can't do something, or it can make you feel like you can't express what you're feeling. It can make you feel like you can't be yourself. Have you ever wondered why we feel the need for control? Fear is a funny thing, isn't it? It's like the great puppeteer of our minds, pulling the strings of our thoughts and making us believe things that aren't really true. But here's the thing, fear is a liar. It's time to understand the nature of fear. Your brain evolved to prioritize security over happiness. When you feel real or imaginary danger, your brain activates an alert system designed to guarantee your survival. It doesn't care what you live for, just that you're alive. No, you die. That program is useful when the danger is a real predator or a physical disaster, but when the danger is emotional rejection or the failure judgment of others, your brain reacts with the same panic as if a lion pursued you. Modern fear is a distortion, and it is more dangerous to be a liar. It convinces you of lies every time that fear appears, whispering lies that seem like facts. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that if you're thinking about speaking up, it might not be the best idea. People might judge you for it, and it could even lead to humiliation if you lose. But don't worry, because you'll bounce back. You've got this. Just keep believing in yourself and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Hey, we get it. We've all been there. But here's the thing, if you're worried about losing, people might judge you. If you're too exposed, they might judge you, too. If you lose, they might judge you. And if you're not doing well, they might judge you. It's easy to believe these things without questioning them. You might start to feel like you can't do anything right, or like you should just stay in your comfort zone. But here's the thing, these feelings don't have to be your reality. If you learn to see them for what they are, you can start to change them. A lot of the time, fear is not a reaction to the present. It's a memory of something that happened in the past. If you're afraid of rejection, loneliness, or failure, it might have to do with something that happened a long time ago. Maybe you heard something mean when you were younger, or you were in a tough situation that you didn't deal with. Or maybe someone criticized you at some point. Whatever the reason, it's not real. It's just an echo of something that happened in the past. The key is learning to understand fear, not eliminating it. You can learn to see it, question it, and understand your own strength. Fear is not the problem, it's your relationship with it that needs work. We often see fear as something we must destroy to be free, but it's just part of being human. What matters is not if you feel fear, but how you handle it. The key is not to eliminate fear, which is impossible, but to learn to observe it with distance, question it, and understand your own power. Fear is not the problem, it's your relationship with it that needs work. We believe that fear is an enemy that we must destroy to be free, but fear is part of being human. What matters is not if you feel fear, but how you relate to it. Some people flee every time fear appears, while others face the force trying to crush them. Neither of these extremes works in the long term. True mastery consists of changing your relationship with fear. Instead of seeing it as an enemy, see it as a teacher. In time, you can fight it. Learn to listen to it without obeying the cycle of. If you're struggling with fear, know that you're not alone. Some people run away from fear, while others face it head-on. In the long run, the key is to change your relationship with fear. Instead of seeing it as an enemy, see it as a teacher. Take time to understand it and learn to listen to it without giving in to the cycle of fear. Every time you avoid a difficult conversation, you're only making fear stronger. Every time you hesitate to talk or make a decision, fear has a chance to grow. But if you face your fears, your mind will learn to overcome them. Over time, your whole life will become a system of evasion, but you can move towards. If you find yourself obeying a fear, try not to. If you're avoiding a conversation, try talking through it. If you're struggling with a decision, try making it. Fear can take over, and with each time you avoid it, it becomes a part of you. But you can break that cycle. You can't always avoid your fears, you have to face them. The best way to do that is to stop obeying your fears and start walking with them. It's not about eliminating fear, but learning to move forward despite it. You have a process to train that skill. You can recognize fear without letting it control you. What you want, but far from what you fear. The only way to break that cycle is to stop obeying, To not give in to fear, but to walk with him. How to train a new relationship with fear. To master fear is not to eliminate it, but to learn to move despite it. You have a process to train that skill. 1. Recognizes fear without disguise. Don't call it stress, call it by name, fear. Recognize it takes power. I feel fear. It is more powerful than I am stressed. 2. Observe the story behind fear. What am I telling myself? What catastrophe do I imagine? What does my mind tell me will happen? Those stories are usually exaggerations. To see them clearly, true, loose, true, ask you questions, real, what? I know it might sound strange, but is the worst thing that can happen really what? What evidence do I have that it is true? What would you do if it really happened? What is more likely to happen? Most fears are probably overblown. Their weight of logic forebreathes and creates space. Fear lives in the body. Tense muscles accelerate the heart rate. Short breathing. When breathing slow and deep, you tell your body, we are fine. I'm here to support you as you work through your fears. I understand that they can feel overwhelming, but I'm here to help you find the courage to face them. What evidence do I have that this is true? What would you do if it really happened? What is more likely to happen? Most fears are not as intense as they seem. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you can tell your body that everything is going to be okay. Fear can lose its intensity. When you're feeling afraid, don't let fear control you. Take action. Even if your legs tremble, that is a step forward. That is what true courage is. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action with fear. Celebrate each small act of value. Every time you face your fears, you learn. We don't die. Can we do that? It is the real rescheduling. Small doses of, dear friend, I understand that fear can sometimes feel like your inner director, telling you to avoid the things that could make you happy. But here's the thing, you don't have to be the director of your life. Your job as director is to let your fears know what's going on in your life, but don't let them make all the decision for you. You can listen to your fears, but don't just do what they say without thinking. Be grateful for your efforts to protect yourself, but remind them that you are living in the present, not in the past. Today, the risks are different. They are not saber-toothed tigers lurking around every corner. It's just an opinion, and you can use it as a compass. Once you learn not to run away from fear, you can use it to help you. What gives you the most exactly what you need to do? That pending conversation. That ambitious project. That postponed decision. Fear marks the way, instead of avoiding it. Use it as a compass. If you are afraid, it's probably because it's important to understand that fear can actually hold you back. If you want to grow, if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to achieve success, deep connections, growth, or transformation, you've got to face your fears. The brave ones don't feel fear. They are the ones who don't run away from conclusions in my A tilde out to the liar. Fear will tell you that it's protecting you, but it's really holding you back. I know you have it in you to get past your fears and achieve all you've ever dreamed of. I know you're capable of so much more than you think you are. You just have to learn to see fear for what it really is, an illusion. You have to learn to question it and let it go. I know you can do it, because you're strong and capable. You don't need to eliminate fear. You just need to learn to see it, question it, and walk with it until it becomes a whisper and you no longer need to direct your life. Fear is a liar, and the moment you stop believing it is the moment you recover your freedom. Open Book Chapter 6, The Hidden Power of Your Breathing. There's a lot of power inside you that you can always access. You don't have to look for it in books or courses. You already have it. You've had it since you were born. It's just there, waiting for you to notice. It's simple. Your mind just ignores it. Breathing is the bridge between your body and Open Book, Chapter 6, The Hidden Power of Your Breathing. You have so much power inside of you, and you can access it anytime. You don't have to look for it in books or courses. You have it from the day you were born, and it's always there. Your mind just doesn't realize it because it's so simple. Your breathing is the bridge between your body and mind. It's the simplest tool you have, and it can transform your thoughts, feelings, and actions in any situation. Most people breathe without thinking, believing that it's just a function. But those who learn to breathe consciously discover an ancestral secret. Control your breathing, and you can control your mind. Your mind is like a little friend that's always with you, ready to help you through the ups and downs of life. It's like a switch that can flip from chaos to calm, giving you the power to respond to whatever situation you're in. Most of us take a breath without even thinking, just going with the flow. But there's a secret hidden in there. When you learn to pay attention to your breathing, you can take charge of your mind and, in turn, your life. Every emotion has its own breathing pattern. When you're feeling scared, your breathing might be fast and shallow. But when you're relaxed, it's smooth and steady. What many of us don't realize is that this process works both ways. Your breathing can influence your emotions, and your emotions can affect your breathing. Your breathing is a part of your life, and it's important to understand how it works. Each emotion has its own breathing pattern. When you're feeling scared, your breathing is fast and shallow. But when you're relaxed, it's deep and smooth. What many people don't realize is that this process works both ways. Your breathing can affect your emotions, and your emotions can affect your breathing. How you breathe affects how you feel, and how you feel affects how you breathe. Conscious breathing is a great way to break the cycle of reacting without thinking. It's like taking a break from the primitive brain and letting your nervous system know, I'm safe. There's no real danger. I don't need to react. This helps you find the balance between feeling chaotic and feeling calm. When you're breathing, you can choose to respond to your breathing or not. This is a really helpful way to break out of a reactive cycle. Your primitive brain is like a biological pause button. It tells your nervous system, I'm safe. There's no real danger. I don't need to react. This is a great way to understand the power of breathing. There are two branches of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic system, which is activated in danger or stress, and the parasympathetic system, which is activated when you feel safe. The parasympathetic system helps you rest and recover by relaxing the body, calming the heart, and slowing your breathing. It's important to understand the autonomic nervous system. This system has two branches, the sympathetic system, which helps us react to danger or stress, and the parasympathetic system, which helps us rest and recover. The sympathetic system activates when we're in danger or stressed, making our heart beat faster and our muscles tense. It also makes our breathing faster and shallower. The parasympathetic system activates when we're relaxed and safe, slowing our breathing down and making it deeper and more steady. It's interesting how chronic stress can make us stuck in the sympathetic mode even when there's no real threat. Our bodies and minds get tense and alert, and our breathing shows it. But, when we lengthen and deepen our breathing, we're giving the parasympathetic system a signal that says, hey, everything's cool. You know how sometimes you feel like your body's on high alert, even when there's no real threat around? Well, that's just your body and mind trying to protect you. But here's the cool thing, when you slow down and take a deep breath, it's like you're giving your body and mind a sign that everything's cool. Even if your mind is still going a million miles per hour, your body is there, calm and collected. And when you breathe in this way, it's like you're anchoring yourself in the present. So, next time you're feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts, remember that you can always come back to the present moment and take a breath. It's a way to ground yourself and remember that right now, everything is okay. No matter what's going on in your mind, your breathing is a safe haven. When you focus on your breath, you're anchoring your mind in the present. This helps you process emotions without getting overwhelmed. There are different types of breathing: reactive, conscious, rapid, and raised. Each one has its own benefits. Whenever you find yourself worrying, take a moment to focus on your breathing. This will help you stay present and grounded. When you're able to sit with your emotions without being overwhelmed, you'll find that they don't as easily impact you. There are different types of breathing: reactive, conscious, rapid, and raised. Each one affects your stress levels and ability to relax. Slow, deep breathing from your diaphragm can help you feel more at ease. It shows that you have control and clarity. Changing your breathing habits can make a big difference in how you feel and think. It's like having a direct line to your inner self, without having to force it or rely on external motivation. Here are some techniques to help you transform your breathing and mindset. 1. Breathing 4-6 is a great technique for finding calm in the middle of a conversation or when you're feeling stressed. Here's how you do it: inhale slowly through your nose, counting up to 4, and exhale slowly, counting up to 6. Just remember to exhale longer than you inhale. This tells your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Square breathing box. This is a breathing technique used by forces specialists to keep calm in extreme situations. Inhale by the nose, counting up to 4. Retainer, counting up to 4. Exhale, counting until 4. Retainer, counting even 4. Repeat the cycle several times. This technique not only calms, but improves concentration and approach square breathing box. Breathing is a great way to keep calm in tough situations. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting up to 4. Hold your breath for 4 seconds, counting to 4. Exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Repeat this cycle a few times to help you relax and feel balanced. When you're feeling nervous, use your breathing to help you stay calm. Breathe deeply before answering when you feel scared. 7-8. These are perfect for those moments when you're feeling anxious, intense, or before sleeping. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, then hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly for 8 seconds, repeating this active sequence 4 times. This will help you relax and find balance. Nervous, use your breathing as a shield and a sword when someone causes you to feel afraid. Breathe before answering. When you feel fear, breathe before deciding. When you are in traffic, use the breathing as an anchor when your mind starts to race with catastrophic thoughts. Breathe to return your present. Your breathing can be your shield before the external chaos and your sword to cut through it. Useful thoughts. Breathing is not just air. It can help you inhale and exhale, breaking the reactivity chain. Imagine that someone throws you a criticism. Your old reactive pattern would be to answer instantly and defend yourself. Justify. Attacking your body is tense. Your mind accelerates, your breathing shortens. Practice breathing consciously, something changes. Criticism occurs, but instead of reacting, let yourself feel the air on your nose. You might feel like you want to defend yourself, but don't let that person pressure you. Take a slow, deep breath and find your center. From there, you can choose your answer. Remember, you don't have to be a slave to your impulses. You're the author of your own behavior, and that's true freedom. It's like creating space between what stimulates you and how you react. Breathing is the door to that space, and it can help you release emotions that you've held onto for a long time. It's okay to feel trapped in your body. It's normal to feel chronic tension in your chest. It's natural to feel rigid shoulders and unprocessed emotions. You can release those emotions by breathing consciously. Expanding the diaphragm and freeing tensions is a way to release those emotions. Conscious breathing is a way to cure the present, release the past, and overcome the invisible discipline that dominates your breathing. It feels strange at first, but every conscious breath is an act of self-care. Respito is all about choosing to take care of you and not giving up on you. It's like a daily practice of nurturing your inner strength, and little by little, you start to notice a change in you. You realize that you're not the same person who used to react without thinking. You've become someone who takes a moment to breathe and respond thoughtfully in a world that often reacts without thinking. And that, my friend, is true power. Respito is all about choosing to take care of you and not giving in to that impulse to abandon you. It's like a hidden strength that builds up in your mind, and before you know it, you're not the same person you used to be. You become someone who takes a moment to breathe and then responds thoughtfully in a world that often reacts without thinking. That's true power. Your breath is your center for power. Your mind might try to fool you, and emotions might push you around, but your breath is always there. You are with you, and you can always go back to yourself. Breathing is like taking back control. It's about choosing, and the choice you make now determines your future. Next time life throws you a curveball, you answer right away. Your center of power is not in your mind, but in your heart. Your emotions will push you, the world will test you, but your breath will always be your anchor. You are always with yourself, and you can always return to your center. She dominates her, and she is recovering the command. Breathing is choosing, and the answer you choose determines your destination. Next time the chaos touches the door, you answer instantly. First, therein that there is your true libertad, your open book. Chapter 7, The silence is your superpower in a world saturated with noise, where everyone struggles to be heard. Silence is a powerful act of rebellion, not submission or weakness. It is a conscious, strategic, and loaded silence. First, there is that air of true freedom. Open Book Chapter 7, The silence is your superpower in a world full of noise, where everyone is always talking. commenting, and shouting to be heard. Silence is a powerful act of rebellion, not submission or weakness. When chosen, it is a supreme act of control. Demonstrating that you can remain silent when everyone else wants to react shows a strength that few understand. In silence, there is power. This chapter is a journey to the art and science of mastering silence. It's not about withdrawing, but about using silence as a tool of influence and self-empowerment when you're in control. It's like you have this inner strength that few people understand. You know, because when you're quiet, there's this power in it. This chapter is all about the art and science of being in silence. It's not about being distant or withdrawn, but about using silence as a tool for influence, knowledge, and respect. We've been taught since we were kids that to be strong, we have to defend ourselves and speak up. We've been told that noise is a sign of safety and control, but the truth is, the truly powerful ones aren't the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who, when they are in the moment, don't say a word. The ones who rush to explain, who feel safe in silence, are the ones who are afraid of not being heard. They are the ones who, when they are quiet, make others feel present. I know you don't need me to explain this, but I'll try anyway. His calm says more than his words ever could. When he's being strategic, when he pauses, it's a clear message. He's not afraid of emptiness because he trusts his presence. Silence is an internal mirror, beyond the external. Silence is the only way to really know you in the noise. External, social networks, conversations, distractions avoid facing you. But when you choose silence, you force yourself to listen to your thoughts, emotions, and fears. External noise is anesthesia, silence is confrontation, and only those who dare to look. When you're in a situation where you feel like you're not being heard, it can be really frustrating. It's like the silence is more powerful than the noise, right? It's like a test of your emotional strength. If someone starts to criticize or attack you verbally, your first reaction might be to defend yourself or justify your position. Your ego might be telling you that silence means weakness, but the true strength is in how you handle that impulse. Staying silent isn't about giving up or giving in. It's about showing that you're in control of the situation and not letting the noise dictate your response. When you're silent, it's not about submission, it's about standing your ground and expressing your perspective. Domain, the power of a silent pause. We all know that the human mind can be tricky. It can be hard to talk about things that make us feel uncomfortable. When we feel that awkward silence, it can feel like we're missing something. But here's the thing, when we take a moment to pause and collect ourselves, it can actually help us in the long run. When someone makes a suggestion, taking a breath and thinking for a moment can make them feel more comfortable. If someone starts to attack us verbally, we can use silence to show that we're not afraid. So, next time you're in a conversation, try taking a moment to pause and see how it changes the dynamic. You might just surprise yourself with the results. Response offers silence that helps you when you're trying to make an emotional decision. Give yourself a minute of quiet time. Silence helps you stop and breathe. It helps you think and feel. And it shows that you have power. When you speak less, people will listen to you more. Silence makes you mysterious, and mysterious people are interesting. If you don't speak, people will think you're nervous. But if you speak with imagination, people will think you know a lot. Have you ever thought about how being silent can be so powerful? It's amazing how silence can speak volumes, don't you think? But here's the thing, constant noise, both from the outside and from within, can really mess with our clarity. All that noise, whether it's from the news, thoughts, or other distractions, can get in the way of our focus. So, what if we told you that silence is actually good for you? It's like a mental cleanse that helps your mind organize its thoughts and let your intuition speak. And here's the cool part, when you give yourself some quiet time, you open up a door to your inner wisdom. But, you might be thinking, silence. That's not for me. But, trust me, being silent doesn't mean you're isolating yourself. It's all about finding the perfect balance. Hey, have you ever thought about how learning to quiet the noise in your head can help you hear your inner voice more clearly? Here are some exercises to help you embrace the power of silence. Try being aware of your reactions to things that upset you. Take a moment to notice your impulses. Embrace the power to say no to things that make you feel pressured. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings in silence. Set aside 5 minutes each day to be completely silent and focus on yourself. See if any thoughts or feelings come up. Remember that silence can help you understand yourself better. In the next conversation, try to incorporate some silence. Pause for a moment before speaking, and speak more slowly. You'll be amazed at how your words resonate more deeply when people have a chance to reflect. 4 silent moments can help you gather your thoughts before making a decision. Important, don't let impulsivity guide you. Take a few minutes to sit in silence, observing the emotions that arise and letting them settle before acting. This approach can help you make more conscious decisions and avoid emotional reactions. Silence can be a powerful tool for self-reflection. Respect. Talking without thinking is a lack of respect for yourself. Every word has a cost, and unnecessary words take power. Every defense is automatic, a tribute to the insecure ego. Keep silent when it is not necessary. Talking is honoring your own value and telling you that your presence is enough. Your words are precious, and not. Silence as a strategy of life. Silence is much more than a communication tool. It is a silence life principle before the provocation. Silence is a way to listen to your intuition. Silence is a way to observe before acting. Silence is a way to protect your peace. In a world where everyone reacts, says, and shouts, it can be hard to find moments of calm. Silence has a way of taking over the energy in the room. When you speak, it's like you're sharing a piece of yourself with the world. And when you share from a place of calm and authority, it's like you're sharing true power. In a world full of noise, silence can be a powerful statement. When you speak, it's like you're saying the most important things in a quiet way. And when you don't speak, it's like you're listening more deeply. Silence is your own personal power move. Use it. Secret Open Book Chapter 8, How to Win Discussions Without Discussing. Discussions are a part of life, whether at home, at work, or with friends. We all disagree with someone at some point. My dearest friend, I know you're ready to learn true mastery. It's not about winning every discussion with the most convincing arguments. It's about finding a way to be victorious without raising your voice or attacking the other person. Wouldn't it be wonderful to win without fighting? This chapter is designed to be a supportive space where you'll learn techniques to avoid fights and navigate discussions with understanding, respect, and control. You'll discover how to achieve your goals without ruining relationships or losing your peace. Together, we'll explore the art of discussion. Define dynamics. When two people are in a disagreement, they might start to defend themselves more strongly and make their arguments louder. The goal isn't necessarily to find a solution, but to win. At that point, emotions start to play a role, communication becomes more toxic, and resolving the conflict becomes less likely. This can lead to discussions turning into battles instead of constructive dialogues. People might focus too much on being right and on winning. The more you insist on winning, the deeper the CBAS, the hole of discord. True power lies in "Hey, I totally get it." When you're in a discussion with someone, it's not about taking the high road or coming across as the bigger person. It's about shifting the vibe of the conversation and managing your emotions in a way that lets you win without having to argue. That way, you can achieve your goals without letting your ego or your emotions run the show. When you're in a discussion, there's a part of your brain that takes the lead. This part is all about survival, and it's natural to want to win. It's impulsive and emotional, and it responds without thinking by attacking and looking for quick wins. Is it another? The strategic mind is one that observes, evaluates, and responds calmly. It's not one that's dragged by impulses. It knows that hurried decisions and emotional responses only create more conflict. The strategic mind knows that in the field of communication, silence, active struggle, and patience are much more powerful tools than constant verbiage. Winning without discussing is not a matter of speaking stronger. It's a matter of thinking clearly by taking a deep breath and responding from a place of wisdom and control. For what we discuss, the root of most discussions are a chance for us to connect and share our feelings. We all want to feel heard and respected. When we don't feel listened to, we might raise our voice to defend ourselves. The emotion behind the discussion is often about how we feel when we're in disagreement. It's about how we feel when our identity is challenged. Hey, I just wanted to mention that sometimes, when we feel like our position might be disqualified, it's important to remember that fear and ego can play a big role. If we can understand the emotional side of the discussion, we can find a different way to look at it. Instead of responding to confrontation, we can choose to not take it personally. It's like we're all seeing the discussion differently, and it's really just about ideas or points of view, not. If you feel like your position is being disqualified, it's important to understand that fear and ego can play a big role in how we talk about things. When we can understand the emotional side of the discussion, we can approach it from a different angle. Instead of responding to confrontation, you can choose to not take it personally. It's really just about different ideas or points of view, not a personal attack. Here are some helpful techniques for winning discussions without having to talk excessively. Listen more than you speak. One of the mistakes we often make in discussions is speaking more than we need to when we're busy defending our position. We stop actively listening to what the other person is saying. Active listening is the key to having a successful discussion without getting into an aggressive conversation. Hey, here's a friendly tip for you. In any discussion, the key to winning without getting into an aggressive back and forth is to listen more than you talk. When you actively listen, you've got a few advantages. First, it makes the other person feel heard, which takes the tension down a notch. And the more you listen, the better you'll understand their perspective, leading to more effective answers. Plus, it prevents emotion from running rampant and keeps the discussion from getting derailed. Remember, the key is not to talk to win, but to listen to understand. Pause before speaking in a discussion. When emotions are at the limit, there's an automatic impulse to respond immediately to gain ground, but this is a trap. Responding impulsively almost always aggravates the conflict. What you owe is pausing, even for a few seconds, breathing deeply. This gives you time. Remember, the key is not to talk to win, but to listen to understand. Pause before speaking in a discussion. When emotions are at the limit, there's an automatic impulse to respond immediately to gain ground, but this is a trap. Respond impulsively, and you'll almost always aggravate the conflict. What you owe is pausing, even for a few seconds. This gives you time to calm your nerves and also allows you to evaluate the situation from a strategic perspective. Silence that follows a pause is a powerful tool. When you stay silent and reflective, you show that you're not willing to let emotions dictate your answer. In this space, your response will be more considered, balanced, and effective. 3 USA powerful questions, one of which is more hey, I just wanted to let you know that there's a really cool way to stay calm and think things through. When you take a moment to pause and collect your thoughts, it shows that you're not letting your emotions run your answer. This approach makes you more thoughtful and balanced, and it's a great way to have a conversation without getting into an argument. Here's an example. Asking questions invites reflection and lets the other person think about their beliefs again without you getting defensive. It's like you're guiding the conversation towards a shared exploration. And when you ask joint questions, it shows you're interested in understanding each other's perspectives. It's like you're saying, hey, why do you think this is the best option? Is there any other way we could look at this? Hey, here's a friendly tip for having a conversation without arguing. When you ask questions, you're not just inviting reflection, you're also inviting the other person to think again about their beliefs. When you ask questions that guide the conversation towards exploring ideas together, you're helping me understand why you think this is the best option. There might be other points of view that we haven't considered yet. Questions like these can make it so there's no need to defend yourself. Instead of putting the other person on the spot, you're inviting them to think about powerful questions and working together, not fighting. It's really easy to focus only on differences during a discussion, but focusing on what we agree on is a great way to have a productive conversation. Hey, let's think about this together. When we look at things from different points of view, it's like we're all on the same team. We're not trying to fight, we're just trying to find common ground. Even when we're really different, there's always something we can agree on. When we do that, it creates a foundation of respect and collaboration. It's like we're switching from fighting to working together. Like, I agree that this is a problem that needs a solution. I agree. Fighting is finding common ground. Even in the most intense disagreements, there's always something you can match with. When you create a basis of mutual respect, you change the conversation from a struggle against you to a collaboration with you. For example, I agree that this is a problem that needs a solution. I agree that we are looking for what's better for all of us. Not only does this reduce the tension, but it also allows you to move towards an easier resolution. 5. Do not take things personally. Most discussions intensify because people feel their identity is being attacked. But here's the truth, more liberating discussions have nothing to do with you as a person. When someone is upset or in pain, that's not your problem. We're all looking for what's best for everyone, and that's what makes the difference. It's not about taking things personally. Most of the time, discussions get intense because people feel their identity is being attacked, but the truth is, more open conversations have nothing to do with you as a person. It's about your own fears, insecurities, and views, not about you. If you can separate from the discussion and remember that what's said doesn't reflect your value or identity, it'll be so much easier. Keep calm and composed. One of the main reasons why discussions become toxic is that people cling to the desire to win. Be right, they want the other to apologize or be recognized as the correct part. But the real Victoria is not getting a yes. You have reason for the other person. The true Victoria is reaching an understanding, mutual. Find a solution that works for both, and get out of the more wise conversation. No more injured. Remember, the desire to win a discussion can make you lose the opportunity. Open Book Person, Chapter 9, Converting Pain into Power. We all experience pain in our lives, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. We all face failures, losses, betrayals, frustrations, and moments of hopelessness. But what we often don't realize is that pain doesn't have to be our enemy. Instead of running away, we can learn from it and grow stronger. Instead of running away from pain, we can learn to use it as a tool for personal growth and transformation. If we handle it properly, pain can become a source of strength, wisdom, and power. Those who reach great heights in life are not the ones who never experienced pain, but those who learn to turn pain into strength. This chapter is designed to help you change your relationship with pain and turn it into a source of strength, wisdom, and power. It can be a great source of motivation for you, pushing you to keep going when you feel like giving up. Pain is something we all experience at some point in our lives. From the moment we're born, we encounter challenges and difficulties. In our physical lives, we might face health issues or the natural process of aging. Emotionally, we may face losses, setbacks, and disappointments. Pain can be a tough part of life, but it's also a reminder that we're strong and can overcome challenges. Pain is like a teacher who presents itself in many ways. But what sets people who truly thrive apart isn't that they avoid pain. Instead, it's that they face it and turn it into fuel for their growth. They don't look for ways to avoid suffering, they take advantage of it. We often react to pain by adopting a victim's mindset. We complain and become consumed by ourselves. We all know that pain can make us feel weak, but what if we could turn that around? People who really thrive don't run from pain, they embrace it. They don't just see it as something to be escaped, but as something that can be turned into something positive. It's like they're a warrior, not a victim. They don't just complain and feel sorry for themselves. Instead, they see pain as an opportunity to grow and evolve. They decide how they are going to respond to pain, not how others respond to them. They take that pain and turn it into something that makes them stronger. So, the next time you feel pain, don't just feel it, use it as an opportunity to grow and become a better version of yourself. It's time to change the way we see things. Instead of thinking that pain is going to defeat you, start thinking about how you can turn pain into something positive. The mindset of Guerrero allows you to see pain as a chance to grow and evolve. Pain can teach us important lessons, but we can't learn them in the same way. Emotional breakdowns, personal failures, harsh criticism, or loss can be tough experiences, but they don't have to define us. If we're open to learning, pain can teach us so much. It forces us to face our shadows, show us our weaknesses, fears, and insecurities, and push us to our limits. Through challenge, we can discover an inner strength we didn't know we had. When we experience pain, we have two options, to be trapped in it or to use it as a spark for change. Choosing the second option can help you become someone with a heart as strong as steel. It's all about finding the beauty in pain. The first step is to let go of the fight within you. When you accept your pain, it's not about being stuck in misery, but about being gentle with yourself and allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling without being hard on yourself. Pain is a natural part of life, and avoiding it only makes things more difficult. Choosing the second option can make you a person of great emotional strength. How do you transform pain into power? You just have to accept the pain. The first step to converting pain into power is accepting it. This doesn't mean giving up or feeling sorry for yourself. It just means letting yourself feel what you feel without judging it. Pain is natural. When we try to avoid it, we only make it stronger. We get trapped in a never-ending cycle of suffering. But accepting it is the first step towards release. When we accept pain, we transform it into a tool for growth. This growth allows us to see life more deeply and significantly. We learn from every painful experience. Pain isn't just an obstacle, it's also an opportunity to learn. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? What is it showing me about myself? What lessons can help me grow and advance? When you ask these questions, you become the apprentice of your own pain. Every painful experience is a chance to learn and grow. With time, you'll become stronger and wiser. Redefine the pain. It's easy to see pain as something negative, but it can also be a positive force. It can be a sign that there's something you need to change. When you change your perspective about pain, you can see it as a teacher and an ally on your journey to growth. Instead of seeing pain as a punishment, start to see it as a necessary step in your evolution. Growth muscle, painless personnel. You know, it's interesting how things grow when they are faced with challenges. It's the same with our hearts and minds. When we're in pain, it can actually be a great source of motivation. A lot of the most successful people in the world have used their struggles as a driving force to push forward. Adversity can be a beautiful thing that can lead to positive change. For example, some of the greatest athletes use their past failures or injuries as a reminder of their resilience. Similarly, many successful entrepreneurs have used financial setbacks as a chance to grow and learn. When you're going through a rough patch, it's important to find the good in every situation. Ask yourself how you can turn your challenges into stepping stones toward success. The right mindset can turn pain into motivation, propelling you to achieve incredible things. At CCO, we believe that resilience isn't something you're born with, it's a skill that grows stronger with every challenge you overcome. The more we suffer, the more we learn to adapt and grow. Pain teaches us how to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving forward, even when the path gets tough. It reminds us not to give up, no matter how hard things get. And never ever give up. You'll become more and more resistant and resilient. It's not about not feeling pain. It's about being able to keep going even when things get tough. When you develop resilience, pain won't have as much power over you. You'll learn how to prevent pain from holding you back. Pain doesn't automatically turn into power. We can get stuck in a spiral of emotional pain if we don't deal with it the right way. Here are some key strategies to prevent pain from holding you back. 1. Don't identify with your pain. Pain is something you feel, but it's not who you are. You don't become, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone in dealing with pain." It's totally normal to feel overwhelmed, and sometimes it can get stuck in our heads. But here's the thing, talking about it, writing about it, or finding ways to express it can help you move past it. If you find yourself thinking about the pain too much, try taking a break and letting it go. You've got this. Keep doing the things that make you happy, even if the pain is strong. And don't forget the power of activities that make you feel good. Exercising, spending time with loved ones, or doing something you enjoy can be a step towards feeling great. Remember, those who transform pain into strength are truly inspiring. Those who choose to learn from him and use it as motivation, not an obstacle, are the ones who achieve great things. Remember, great things are not immune to pain, they can even dominate it. Think about some of the most admired people in history. Many of them faced significant challenges. For example, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, Oprah Winfrey had a difficult childhood, and Steve Jobs suffered from a terminal disease. But each of them used their suffering as fuel to promote significant changes, not only in their lives but also in the world. Open Chapter 10. Training your mind is like a Zen warrior. The human mind is one of the most powerful instruments we have, and it's also incredibly delicate. Like all power, if it's not properly trained, it can become uncontrollable, leading to confusion, stress, reactivity, and impulsiveness. But if you train and cultivate your mind with discipline, it can become an unwavering source of calm, clarity, and resilience. You can train your mind to become a fortress. While it's not an easy task, it is possible. Mental training requires practical time and discipline, as well as self. What you'll discover in this chapter will guide you on how to train your mind like a Zen warrior. You'll learn to find inner peace, concentrate, and make decisions when you're under pressure. A Zen warrior doesn't fight with weapons, but with his own mind. His true power lies in his ability to stay serene and wise, no matter what's going on around him. If you'd like to have the same level of mental strength, we'd love to train you. The human mind is like a battlefield. We're all warriors, and we face thoughts, emotions, and external stimuli that can make us feel unstable every day. But Zen knows that the real combat doesn't happen outside, it happens within ourselves. So, it's important to be gentle with ourselves and our minds. If we don't control our thoughts and emotions, they can lead us to react impulsively. We all know that concerns, stress, fear, and anxiety can sometimes get in the way of our best judgment. We might make decisions in the heat of the moment without thinking, and we might lose our peace. But there's good news. Interior training can help us stay alert and in control of our thoughts and emotions. We can't control what happens to us, but we can respond to it like the guerrero Zen. This ability is key to achieving mental stillness. The first principle of mental training is stillness, which is really about finding your inner peace. The Zen warrior doesn't let outside chaos disrupt their inner calm. They practice meditation to find a space of calm, a center where they can observe and make decisions without reacting impulsively. It's like a fundamental tool for cultivating mental stillness by sitting in silence and focusing the mind. The guerrero Zen achieves a deep connection with their inner being. Meditation is a practice that can help you train your mind. It's not just about emptying your thoughts, but rather learning to observe them without getting caught up in them. At first, this might feel challenging because our minds are used to jumping from one thought to another. But as you practice meditation, you'll develop a deeper connection with your present moment. To help train your mind, try dedicating at least 10 minutes a day to meditation. If you're just starting out, try focusing deeply on the air entering and leaving your lungs. If your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Focusing on your breath. This simple practice is a great way to find some space between what's going on around you and how you respond. Your mind is like a mirror of your breath. Breathing is one of the best ways to influence our mental state. The warrior Zen knows that when the mind is troubled, breathing gets faster and more shallow. This can quickly bring you back to a calm state. 2 breaths are all it takes. Controlled breathing is the warrior tool to change your mental state right away. If you have ever felt anxious, nervous, or overwhelmed, you know that your breathing can get erratic and superficial. Warrior, hey, let's talk about how to increase your Zen. Have you ever tried breathing techniques that go deep to establish balance? One thing that's really helpful is to practice abdominal breathing. That means you breathe in deeply by the nose and let your belly expand, and then you exhale slowly through your mouth. This kind of breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which makes you feel calm and relaxed. It's amazing how controlled breathing can help you feel calm in situations of stress. It's like it trains your mind to focus on the present moment without getting overwhelmed. It's a great tool to help you focus on what you want to achieve. So, let's talk about how to use Guerrero Zen to help you reach your goals. Hey, I totally get it. When our minds are all over the place, we're like, where's my focus? But when we zero in on one thing, we're like, whoa, I can do anything. So, here's the deal, if you want to get really good at something, you've got to put your mind to it. Focus on one thing at a time, and don't let your thoughts get in the way. When you're working on something, whether it's for fun or for work, try to give it your full attention. Your mind is like a little lantern that can shine brightly on one thing or get all spread out and lose its focus. Hey, friend is with Karen want to learn how to be more present in each moment without wandering off. You can train your mind to stay focused by trying out some really cool practices. One way is to meditate on one thought or object. If you find yourself wandering, just gently bring your attention back to the object you're focusing on. You can also try working on one task at a time instead of doing lots of things at once. Or, set aside some time just for one activity, making sure to give it your full attention. When you train your focus, you'll see some awesome improvements. Not only will you become more efficient, but you'll also learn to handle stress better. When your mind learns to concentrate, it becomes more powerful. In every part of life, the mind and resilience grow stronger when faced with challenges. The Guerrero Fen is all about moving past pain and learning to do it with grace and strength. Building mental resilience is one of the most important aspects of mental training. The more you face challenges and the more difficult things get, the more you grow. Mental training is all about learning to face challenges with an attitude of growth. Every challenge and every failure is a chance to train your resilience. When life throws you a curveball, you can choose to let it bring you down or use it as an opportunity to grow. Challenge, an opportunity to grow. The Guerrero Zen. When you view difficulties as just part of the journey, you're setting yourself up for a life of growth and success. Every challenge has the potential to make you stronger, even if the journey feels long and difficult. Practice, reframe difficulties as opportunities for growth. Embrace discomfort and pain as part of the process of growth. Accept challenges with an open mind, recognizing that they can be valuable lessons. Maintain a growth mindset when facing adversity. Hey, why not ask yourself what you can learn from this experience? How can you use it to grow your mind? As the creator of inner peace, you can. The trained mind doesn't just respond well to difficulties, it also creates a space of peace and serenity. The warrior Zen knows that true victory is not in the external conquest, but the internal conquest of mental peace. 5 ways to cultivate mental peace and train your mind are essential to creating a sense of internal peace, no matter what external circumstances may be. You can achieve this through daily practices that feed your peace, like meditation, gratitude, and self-care. If you're feeling stressed or anxious, just remember that you can always find your way back to your inner calm. If you practice finding peace in the midst of chaos, not only will you handle stress more easily, but you'll also be able to make better decisions and live with a bigger purpose. To sum it up, the mind of the Guerrero Zen is like a warrior, always training and growing. When you're feeling stressed or anxious, remember that you can always find your inner peace. If you teach your mind to find calm in the middle of chaos, you'll be able to handle stress and make better decisions. The mind of the Guerrero Zen doesn't mean reaching perfection, but being prepared to face any challenge with calm, resilience, and concentration. This means knowing that true strength comes from controlling external circumstances. Every day is an opportunity to strengthen your mind. It's not about avoiding suffering or stress, but training your mind to respond wisely and calmly. We all have the power to be unstoppable and achieve anything we set our minds to, and we can do it without losing our inner peace. In this chapter, we are going to explore how you can master anger, how to have it before taking control, and how to transform it into a personal power force without letting it interfere with your emotional well-being. Anger is one of the most powerful human emotions, but it can also be one of the most destructive. When it's uncontrolled, it can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and cause regret. However, anger itself is not something we should fear. In doing so, you become an unstoppable person, capable of achieving everything you propose without losing your inner peace. Open Book Chapter 11, The Secret to Controlling the Anger. Anger is one of the most powerful and destructive emotions for humans. When it is uncontrolled, it can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and cause regret. However, anger itself is not necessarily negative. It is a natural emotional response that arises when we feel threatened, frustrated, or overwhelmed. The problem does not lie in feeling anger, but in how we manage it. In this chapter, we will explore how you can master anger, how to have it before taking control, and how to transform it into a personal power force without letting it interfere with your emotional well-being. Anger is a natural emotional response, and it's not all bad. It can help us when we feel threatened, frustrated, or overwhelmed. The key is in how we handle it. In this chapter, we are going to explore how you can tame your anger, how to embrace it in the moment, and how to turn it into a positive force that doesn't affect your emotional well-being or your relationships. The secret to true strength isn't about suppressing anger, but learning to express it in a healthy and constructive way. Anger is a powerful emotion that arises when we perceive a threat. From an evolutionary perspective, anger was a useful tool for survival in ancient times, when humans lived in more dangerous environments. When you're in a tough spot, it's natural to feel angry. But here's the thing, anger isn't your enemy. It's actually a sign that something's bothering you. It's your body's way of telling you that something's off. The key is how you react to that signal. Your beliefs play a big role in how you respond. Anger can be tricky. It's not about suppressing it. It's about finding the right balance. Anger is an emotional response to a perceived threat. It's been super useful for survival in the past. Back in the day, when humans lived in more dangerous environments, anger helped them defend themselves. Today, though, most of our threats are emotional or psychological. We often feel angry when there's no real danger or physical irritation. Things like comments, criticism, or frustration can make us feel like we need to react. When we're not in any real danger, it's important to remember that anger isn't our enemy. It's just a sign that something's bothering us and that we feel like our needs or values are being ignored. The key is how we respond to that signal. The root of the war goes to the beliefs that most of us have. It's important to remember that anger doesn't come from a single situation. It often stems from our beliefs and expectations about how things should be. For example, we might believe that people should always be friendly, or that things should always go as we want them to. If someone doesn't meet these expectations, we might feel angry. The key is to understand that anger is a signal that something in our lives is off. It's our body's way of telling us that something is wrong. The best way to deal with anger is to look at the beliefs and expectations that are causing it. Anger can come from our beliefs and expectations about what should happen or how things should be. For example, we might believe that people should always be friendly with me or that things should always go as I want. If someone dishonors me, I might feel the need to respond strongly. While these beliefs are natural, they can also lead to frustration because life doesn't always go as we plan. It's important to understand that people won't always be friendly and that things won't always go as we expect. When we identify the beliefs that cause our anger, we can start making changes. I understand how hard it is to feel frustrated when life doesn't go as planned. It's normal to feel angry when things don't go as we'd hoped, and it's important to remember that things don't always work out the way we want them to. But here's the good news: we can learn to transform our beliefs to make our lives better. When we identify the beliefs that make us feel angry, we can start to change them. This will help us to see the situation more objectively and less reactively. Anger is a cycle. If we don't interrupt it, it can quickly escalate. This cycle has 3 phases: emotional stimulation, anger, and resolution. Anger can be caused by a word or situation. It's important to understand that anger is a natural human emotion. It's a part of our emotional response to situations or words that we find upsetting or frustrating. It's a natural reaction to feel uncomfortable or annoyed in these moments. When we're in the midst of an angry outburst, it's normal to find ourselves thinking in a very impulsive way. We might feel the urge to lash out in a way that we later regret. This is the phase where we might make decisions we'll come to regret. It's essential to recognize that anger can have a negative impact on our well-being. It can lead to feelings of stress and frustration. It's important to find healthy ways to manage our anger and find balance. Anger can be a tricky emotion. It's not always rational, and it can be hard to pinpoint exactly where it comes from. Sometimes, it's just a desire to get even or to unburden ourselves of stress. But once it reaches the point where we're ready to lash out or make a hasty decision, that's when things can get ugly. It's during this final phase that anger can do the most harm, affecting not just the situation at hand but also our own well-being. It's important to understand that anger doesn't always make us act in the best way. Sometimes, when we're feeling angry, we might find it hard to think clearly. This can lead to us making decisions we later regret. It's natural to feel overwhelmed in these moments, and it's essential to find ways to break the cycle of anger before it gets out of hand. One helpful technique is to take a moment to pause and reflect before reacting. This helps us to stop and think before we speak, which can prevent us from saying things we might regret later. How to stop the cycle of anger before it starts? It's important to stop before we react. Anger grows when we don't take time to think before we speak. If we pause for a moment, we can gather our thoughts and observe our emotions. This gives us the space to make decisions that are more thoughtful and less impulsive. Deep breathing is one of the most powerful ways to calm down and manage anger. Hey, we've all been there. Sometimes, we make decisions without giving ourselves the time to really think before jumping into a situation that's making us feel angry. But here's the thing, taking a step back and just observing your emotions can make a huge difference. Give yourself a few seconds to pause and let your rational mind kick in. This gives you the space to make decisions that are more thoughtful and less impulsive. One of the most powerful tools we have in our toolkit against anger is deep breathing. When we breathe quickly and with more depth, it activates the nervous system's parasympathetic branch, which helps us feel calm. Here's a simple exercise you can try. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold the air for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. This will help you reduce the intensity of your anger and give you some time to collect your thoughts before responding. And here's a helpful tip. When you're ready to respond, take a moment to rephrase your thoughts. This can help you express yourself in a more thoughtful and less angry way. Hey, just a thought, what we think can make us feel angry. But if we change our thoughts, we can change how we feel. Instead of thinking, that was unfair, and I have to defend myself, we can change to this is annoying, but I don't need to react to this impulse. Just a little mental adjustment can be enough to break the cycle and choose an answer. Remember, the power of communication is not aggression. One of the main reasons we get angry without being able to control it is that we don't know how to express what we're feeling in the right way. Assertive people who don't feel listened to might raise their voice and act aggressively. But conflict only feeds communication, and being aggressive is not the key to handling anger effectively. So, express yourself with clarity and calm when you feel like you might react explosively. Let's try to communicate in a way that's nice and clear. Let's use phrases that don't accuse the other person but focus on our own feelings. For example, in DC, it might be a bit harsh to say, "You're a fool." Instead, we could say, "I feel frustrated when I listen to that." This type of communication is helpful because it prevents the other person from getting defensive and opens the space for a more constructive dialogue. We can also try to use I instead of you when we, in a calm and kind way, try using phrases that don't point the finger at the other person, but rather focus on your own feelings. For example, instead of saying, "I feel frustrated when I listen to that," try saying, "I feel frustrated when I listen to that." This type of communication prevents the other person from getting defensive and opens the space for a more constructive conversation. When we're angry, we tend to use you to accuse, which generates confrontation. Instead, try expressing, "I feel ignored when my opinion is not heard." Approach the situation by taking responsibility for yourself instead of blaming the other person. This approach minimizes conflict and increases the chances of resolution. Transform anger into positive energy. When anger is not repressed, it's important to understand that anger is a powerful force that can drive you to take action. The key is to channel that energy in a positive and constructive way. Instead of letting your anger fester, try using it to motivate positive action. If you're feeling frustrated by an unresolved task or a difficult situation, don't let your anger lead you down a destructive path. Instead, use that energy to take action and make positive changes. It's important to remember that anger is a powerful force, and it can drive you to do great things. But here's the key, those things should be positive and constructive. So, how do you transform anger into something good? Well, you channel that energy into positive action. Instead of letting anger fester, use that energy to move towards positive action. If you're feeling frustrated by an unresolved task or a difficult situation, use that energy to come up with a plan to solve the problem or find a creative solution. It's also important to establish healthy limits. Anger often arises because we haven't clearly defined limits in our relationships or in our lives. Limits are essential to protect your emotional peace. If someone or a situation is causing you to feel upset, it might be time to establish a clear limit to protect yourself. Saying no or getting away from toxic situations is a form of channeling anger towards yourself. Hey, I just wanted to say that I really understand how hard it can be to say sorry and let go of anger. I've been there, and I know how much it can help to release the weight of anger. It's like a weight that you can't see, but it's there, and it can really affect how you feel. When you're holding on to anger, it's like you're carrying a heavy load, and it's hard to move forward. But when you forgive, it's like you're letting go of that burden and becoming free. So, the key is not about suppressing anger, but about learning to control it in a healthy way. It's one of the most powerful emotions we have, and if we can learn to use it in a positive way, it can become a force for good. Remember, growth doesn't mean eliminating anger. It's about learning to use it in a positive way the next time you feel angry. It's a chance to show your control, wisdom, and inner strength. True power isn't about reacting, but about choosing consciously. Open Book, Chapter 12, Dominating Patience and Resilience. Emotional. We live in a world where I don't know what's going to happen. Stop the fast pace of life. Modern demands quick responses, immediate results, and solutions. Snapshots. Social networks have taught us to seek immediate gratification. Snapshot and popular culture often promote the idea that, hey, we all know that things have to move fast these days. Love and opportunities are great, but patience is a virtue that's not often seen. It's not that patience isn't a powerful quality to have. Cultivating patience isn't just about waiting. It's about keeping calm when things seem to fall apart and responding wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional resilience is also important. It's the ability to recover from setbacks, learn from failures, and move on with renewed strength. In this chapter, we'll explore how to develop a deep patience that allows you to overcome any challenge. Hey, have you ever thought about building that emotional resilience to help you overcome the difficulties of life without losing your cool? Patience is such a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's more than just waiting, it's about how we live during that time. Have you ever thought about how patience is one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate? It's not only useful for dealing with frustrations, it's an essential quality for those seeking to achieve great goals and overcome difficulties. When we lack patience, our mind becomes full of anxiety, frustration, and despair. We focus on what we haven't achieved and forget to enjoy the process. Patience is such a beautiful thing. It teaches us to live in the moment and trust that what we're working on will eventually pay off. It reminds us that everything in life has its own rhythm. Patience is like a companion on our journey. The first step to developing patience is recognizing that everything in life is a process. Big changes take time, whether we're working on a relationship, a personal project, our health, or any other area of our life. What really matters is progress. Patience is like a constant space where that progress can happen. It's like a supportive friend, always there to help us face each challenge as we reach our goals. Hey, just a friendly reminder that sometimes getting to where you want to be right away isn't the whole story. Every little bump in the road is a chance to grow and learn. Think of it this way, every moment is a chance to build your inner strength and reach your goals. And, most importantly, be gentle with yourself. We all have those moments where we want it all now, but it's okay to take a breath and remember that progress takes time. Patience starts with yourself, and you've got this. Hey, I totally get it. Mistakes are a part of life, and we all have them. You're a human being, just like the rest of us, and we all make mistakes. When you learn to be patient with yourself, you become your own best friend instead of your own worst critic. Every mistake is a chance to learn and grow, and every step brings you closer to your dreams. Being patient with yourself is essential for staying motivated when things don't go as planned. Emotional resilience is key to staying strong and moving forward. Overcome adversity. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt positively to challenges. Instead of giving up when things go wrong, resilient people recover, learn from their experiences, and move forward stronger than before. This capacity doesn't just come naturally, it's a skill that grows and strengthens over time. The role of pain in resilience. We all face difficult moments, whether it's a loss, disappointment, or an unexpected challenge. Pain and difficulties are a natural part of life. The key to resilience. It's all about how we react to pain. Instead of letting it beat us down, we can turn it into a tool to help us grow. Every time we face a challenge and keep going, we become stronger. Resilience isn't about not feeling pain. It's about not letting pain control us. People who are resilient feel the pain, process it, and then keep going with even more wisdom and determination. Each time we face a challenge and overcome it, we become even more capable of facing what lies ahead. We adapt to change. Change is the only constant. You know, I've found that being able to adapt to change is a big part of what makes people resilient. Instead of resisting change or getting scared of it, people who are resilient just roll with the punches. They understand that change can be a bit uncomfortable, but it also brings new opportunities for growth. They are flexible, they are not stuck in old ways of thinking, and they are ready to adapt when plans don't work out. They see every no as a yes waiting to happen. It's like they are always seeing the bright side of life, and that helps them keep moving forward. Even when things feel uncertain, it's important to remember that we're all learning how to be patient and resilient. Now that we've understood the importance of these qualities, let's explore how we can bring them into our daily lives. Here are some practical steps you can take to build these essential qualities. One practice you can try is gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for cultivating patience and resilience. When we appreciate what we have and what we've achieved so far, instead of focusing on what we lack or on obstacles, it changes our perspective. Hey, friend! Want to feel happier and see the bright side of life a bit more? Try being grateful for what you have every day. It's amazing how being grateful can help you see life's challenges in a new, positive light. It can even help you be more patient with the ups and downs of life. So, make a habit of thinking about the good things you have every day and give a little thanks. This will help you stay balanced and hopeful, even when things get tough. And remember, life is a work in progress, and we're all learning. Be patient with yourself and others, and you'll see the best in everyone. Hey, we all have our own unique imperfections, and it's totally normal to feel frustrated sometimes. But here's the thing, it's important to remember that everyone is in a constant learning process. Every step, even the imperfect ones, is a chance to grow and learn. So, let's try to find the good in every situation. When you're facing a challenge, instead of just feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself what you can learn from it. What are you discovering about yourself, your values, and your goals? Finding a purpose can be a beautiful journey, and it's okay to take your time. Transforming pain into a valuable lesson that allows you to advance is a process. Setting small and attainable goals is a process. Cultivating patience is a process. Managing realistic expectations is a process. Establishing small and attainable goals allows you to experience constant progress every time you achieve a small objective. Your patience grows because you understand that success is a gradual process. This focus also helps you stay motivated and not yield before the difficulties. Cultivating the self is a process. Care and emotional resilience. Taking care of your emotional, physical, and mental well-being is so important. When we're exhausted, stressed, or emotionally drained, it's hard to keep patience and resilience. But we can commit to practicing self-care and doing what we need to do to take care of ourselves. Taking care of yourself is so important. When we're feeling exhausted, stressed, or emotionally drained, it's important to take time for ourselves. Whether it's through exercise, meditation, getting a good night's rest, or just taking some time for yourself, these activities help us recharge our batteries and face challenges with a clear and calm mind. Patience and resilience are two of the most important skills we can have. They help us deal with the tough parts of life in a graceful and wise way. When we work on these qualities, we learn to enjoy the process, stay calm in tough situations, and bounce back after each challenge. Life is an adventure, and sometimes it's a bit of a roller coaster. But, with a little patience and resilience, we can tackle any challenge head-on. Remember, every moment of waiting, every little bump in the road, and every challenge is a chance to grow. Keep your cool and let your inner strength shine. Can you become the strongest version of yourself? Life is full of challenges, but with patience and resilience, we can overcome any obstacle. Remember, every moment of waiting, every difficulty, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow. True strength lies in maintaining calm when everything seems to crumble. Can you become a person who is unstoppable? Can you face life with everything you've got, no matter what? Open Book Chapter 13, Perspective Power. The perspective is one of the most powerful aspects that influences how we experience life. It's like a lens through which we see the world. The way we interpret events, people, and situations shapes how we feel and how we respond to them. You've got the power to face life with everything you've got, no matter what. Open Book Chapter 13, Personal Power. The way we see things is one of the most powerful aspects of our lives. It's like a lens through which we see the world. The way we interpret events, people, and situations defines how we feel and how we respond to them. Two people can face the same challenge and have completely different answers, not because of different circumstances, but because of the different perspectives they come from. The power of perspective is such that it can transform your life completely. The people who achieve great things in life are not necessarily more talented or better off than others. What distinguishes them is the way they perceive situations. The way you see the world can be the key to unlocking your potential and achieving success and inner peace. This chapter is designed to help you change your perspective so you can address life with a mentality that is flexible and empowered, positive, and there are so many different strategies and approaches out there, and I'm excited for you to learn to reformulate your thoughts to expand your vision and transform each challenge into an opportunity. Perspective as a filter of reality. Everything we experience in life, the filter of our mind, goes through the filter. Way we interpret things define your experience. What you see as a difficulty, another. You'll discover a variety of strategies and approaches that can help you see things in new ways. With a little bit of imagination, you can transform each challenge into an opportunity. Your perspective is like a filter that shapes how you experience life. It's interesting how we all see things a bit differently. What you see as a challenge, someone else might see as an opportunity. What seems like a loss to you could be a new beginning for someone else. For example, imagine you have a cup. Some people are grateful for a cup that's half full, while others get frustrated because they want the cup to be the same size. But the way we feel about this variability depends on how we interpret it. You might see it as an opportunity, while someone else might see it as a challenge. Imagine you have a cup filled halfway with water. For some, this is enough to feel grateful, while others get frustrated because they wish the cup was full. How we interpret this variability in our emotional response and behavior to circumstances depends on our perspective. Our perspective affects our emotions, and emotions arise in response to our interpretation of reality. If you see an event as a threat, your mind and body respond with feelings of fear, anger, or frustration. If you see the same event as a challenge or an opportunity, your emotional response will be completely different. This phenomenon is known as the conditioned emotional reaction. Our emotions are deeply linked to the way we interpret what happens. For example, when something does not go as expected, you can react with anger or disappointment if your perspective is focused on the negative, or you can see it as a lesson. Perspective is all about growth and learning. Our emotions are a reflection of our thoughts and beliefs about what happens around us. Our perspective influences our decisions, and the way we see the world greatly affects the decisions we make. If we always see challenges as obstacles we can't overcome, we may be tempted to avoid or give up quickly. Perspective is all about growth and learning. Emotions are a reflection of our thoughts and beliefs about what happens to us. Our perspective determines our decisions, and the way we see the world influences the decisions we make. If we always see challenges as obstacles, we are likely to avoid them or give up quickly. But if we change them into opportunities to learn and improve, we'll be proactive and determined. In this sense, perspective affects not only our emotions but also our actions. People who have a positive vision and are proactive tend to act with confidence and determination. On the other hand, those who have a pessimistic vision can get stuck. If you change your perspective, you can learn and improve. This is a really important thing to understand. Our perspective affects our emotions and actions. People who see the glass as half full tend to act with confidence and determination. Those who see it as half empty can get stuck in it. If you're feeling stuck or indecisive, try changing your perspective. Now that we understand how our perspective affects our lives, it's important to know how to change it. I'll share some practical tools with you that will help you see the world differently and change your life experience. One tool challenges negative thoughts. Negative thinking is one of the biggest obstacles to a positive perspective. Our brains often focus on what can go wrong or what was already bad. This leads us to feel anxious, frustrated, or depressed. The first step to changing your perspective is identifying these negative thoughts and challenging them. Hey, just a friendly reminder to ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have to support this thought? How could I see this situation in a more positive light? Try reformulating your thoughts in a more positive way. This is a really powerful technique. If you're not sure you can do it, don't worry. Just change the narrative. I'm not yet capable of it, but I'm learning and improving every day. If you find yourself struggling with negative thoughts, try this gentle exercise. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this thought? How could I see this situation in a more positive light? If you're not sure you can do it, try changing your narrative. I'm not yet capable of it, but I'm learning and improving every day. A small change in your thinking can open the door to a more optimistic and growth-oriented perspective. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a very effective tool for shifting your perspective. When you appreciate what you have, you focus on the positive instead of what's missing or didn't go well. Try the daily thanks practice. Make a list of at least 3 things you're grateful for, like the food you ate, a nice conversation, or a chance to learn something new. Saying thanks doesn't just change your outlook, it also helps you stay present and focused on the good stuff, instead of worrying about what could have been or what might go wrong. Making a list of at least 3 things for which you are grateful can be something as simple as the food you ate, a pleasant conversation, or an opportunity to learn something new. This change in your approach will help you stay in the present moment instead of worrying about what could have been or what might go wrong in the future. By focusing on what you have now and what you have achieved so far, you can enjoy more of life and find energy to keep moving forward with confidence. People with an empowered perspective see failures as opportunities to grow, instead of viewing them as errors. Imagine if you could see failures as opportunities for growth instead of as roadblocks. If you can do that, you will be in a position to enjoy life more and have the energy to keep moving forward with confidence. People with an empowered perspective see failures as chances to learn and grow, not as mistakes that define their ability to succeed. They are not afraid to take risks or move forward when they make a mistake because they understand that it's a learning experience. Instead of feeling like they are not good enough or like they've failed, they see mistakes as opportunities to learn and improve. It's all about seeing the big picture. It's about seeing failure as a stepping stone to success. It's about taking risks without fear and moving forward without getting caught up in setbacks. It's about not feeling like you're not enough or like you've failed. It's about being able to learn and grow. It's about shifting your focus from just the end result. One of the reasons why so many of us feel frustrated is because we're too focused on the final outcome and don't enjoy the journey. Instead of obsessing over immediate success, it changes your perspective and helps you appreciate the journey. Patience and persistence are key to achieving great things. 4. Shifting your focus from the final result to the process can be a game changer. Many of us get so caught up in the end game that we miss out on the beauty of the journey. When you change your perspective, you start to see the true value in every step along the way. Each little step closer to your goal is a reason to celebrate, and it keeps you motivated and focused. If you only focus on the final result, you might miss out on all the wonderful moments happening right now. The impact of perspective on relationships. Our perspective also plays a huge role in our relationships. Sometimes, we have different interpretations of the same events, and that's where misunderstandings and conflicts can arise. But, when you change your perspective on people and situations, you can see your relationships in a whole new light. You'll find that open communication and empathy become the norm. Empathy is a muscle that you can practice when you're facing a difficult situation. Instead of reacting defensively or thinking that you're in their corner, try to see the situation from their point of view. They might be feeling what's behind their behavior. Adopting the other person's perspective can help you understand their motivations better. It helps you understand others better and respond in a more compassionate way. This improves relationships and creates a more trusting atmosphere. It's important to remember that we all have different perspectives on things, and it's okay if we don't always see things the same way. This perspective is essential for maintaining good mental health. You don't have to agree with everything they say, but you should respect your right to have your own worldview. When you're open to seeing that we're all humans with our own struggles and perspectives, you can create a space of respect and tolerance. Successful relationships are those in which both parties can learn too. I totally respect your right to have your own worldview, and I'm here for you. It's so important to open up and recognize that we're all humans with our own struggles and perspectives. This creates a space of respect and tolerance. I'm here to support you in appreciating the perspectives of others, even when they are different from yours. Transformation is one of the most powerful tools we have. When we change our perspective, we can change our lives and our experience of the world. It's so important to remember that our perspective is always changing. We can always choose to see things positively and open to new possibilities. This is how we open doors to new opportunities and a richer life. Remember, your perspective is something you can train and develop over time. So, every time you face a challenge or difficulty, you have the opportunity to change your perspective and answer. Start. lens, we open the door to new possibilities and new opportunities. The most important thing to a richer life and a satisfying one is perspective, which you can train and develop over time. Every time you face a challenge or difficulty, you have the opportunity to change the way you see things and transform your answer. Start by training your mind today to see each experience as a chance to grow. You will be surprised at how far you can go. Life is not what happens to you, but how you choose to see what happens to you. Choose a perspective that empowers you, and the rest of your life will change. Open your book to chapter 14, Mastering Chaos. Life is full of chaos, from the daily. Training your mind today to see each experience as a chance to grow is a great way to start. Remember, life is not what happens to you, but how you choose to see what happens to you. Choose a perspective that empowers you, and the rest of your life will change. Open chapter 14, Mastering Chaos around you. Life is full of chaos from the daily pressures of work, relationships, and responsibilities. Unexpected crises always seem to have something that threatens our peace of mind. However, the key to living a life of success and satisfaction is not avoiding chaos, but learning to master it. The ability to keep calm, the clarity, and the internal control even when everything seems to fall apart is what will make you happy. I'm sure you're feeling the pressure from all the things you're working on, like your relationships and responsibilities. It's so hard to keep our peace of mind when there are unexpected crises. But here's the thing, the key to living a life of success and satisfaction isn't avoiding chaos. It's learning to master it. It's about having the ability to stay calm, clear, and in control, even when everything seems to fall apart. So, what really makes the difference between those who prosper and those who don't? They let the circumstances drag them down. In this chapter, we're going to explore how you can learn to handle chaos externally without losing your inner peace. We'll talk about how to create a serenity space in the middle of storms and how to maintain a clear approach when situations are overwhelming you. So, what's the secret to thriving in the face of life's unexpected twists and turns? It's all about embracing the unknown. Life, with all its unexpected moments, doesn't come with a manual. What we can do is learn to respond to chaos with grace, accepting it as a natural part of life. The first step to staying calm in chaotic times is recognizing that chaos is a part of life. Even when we plan meticulously, life always throws us a curveball. So, let's try to understand that embracing chaos is not about fighting it, but rather about finding harmony in its midst. True strength doesn't come from controlling what happens around you. It comes from how you react to it. When you accept that chaos is a part of life, you'll find that you're much more capable of dealing with it. No matter how much you plan, there will always be moments of conflict or uncertainty. But if you try to control chaos, you'll only end up frustrated because life is never predictable or perfect. Changes, unexpected personal crises, and work problems can arise at any time. The first step to dealing with chaos is to accept that life doesn't always follow a script and things don't always come out the way we plan. People don't always behave the way we hope they will. Life is an adventure, and sometimes it's a bit of a roller coaster. We might not always get the results we want, and that's okay. Instead of fighting it, let's embrace the unexpected. It's a chance to grow and learn. Don't let the chaos overwhelm you. Instead, think of it as a chance to be flexible and open to what life has to offer. Instead of fighting it, try to understand the chaos. This will give you the freedom to move through it without feeling controlled. You'll learn to see the importance of accepting things as they are. We often make the mistake of thinking that we need to control everything around us. We believe that if we can organize, plan, and control our circumstances, we can avoid chaos. But the truth is that complete control is an illusion. The world is full of unknowns that we can't predict or control. The only thing we can do is you have the power to control your response. Instead of worrying about things you can't control, focus on how you choose to react. When you're faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to breathe deeply, center yourself, and decide how to respond. Remember, you have the ability to influence your own actions and attitude, even when faced with external events. Stay strong and keep going, especially when things get chaotic. You've got two great options here. You can either let anxiety and frustration run your life, or you can stay calm and collected. When you stay calm in the middle of a storm, you'll find that you have the power to handle even more challenging situations. Now that we understand that chaos is inevitable and that our answers are the only thing we can control, let's explore some practical strategies to stay calm and collected. When things get tough, take a deep breath in and out. This is a great way to calm down when you're feeling stressed or in a tough spot. Sometimes, when we're under pressure, our breathing can get all jumbled and fast. But when you take a deep breath, it helps to calm down and relax. It's like you're taking a moment to pause and breathe in the here and now. Try this technique. Breathe in and out 4 times, 4 Gu 6 inhalation, pause for 4 seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this several times. You'll start to feel your body relax, and your mind will become more aware of your internal state, even when external circumstances are beyond your control. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this several times. You'll start to feel your body relax, and your mind will become more aware of your internal state, even when external circumstances are beyond your control. This pause is like a safety net in times of crisis. It's natural to want to react quickly, maybe even impulsively or emotionally. But the key to staying calm is learning to pause before reacting. This pause gives you space to evaluate the situation more objectively and choose how you want to react. Take a moment to breathe, reflect, and collect yourself before reacting. This brief pause will give you time to calm down and make decisions you can stand by. Remember, calm is a choice, and pausing is the first step towards it. When things get chaotic, remember that you can always adapt and find a solution. Take a moment to pause and reflect before acting. This brief pause will give you time to calm down and make decisions you made before. Remember, calm is a choice, and pausing is the first step. Flexibility is important. When things don't go as we expect, it can be tough. People who are inflexible in their thinking and expectations often suffer the most in times of uncertainty. To deal with chaos, it's essential to adopt a flexible mindset. This means being willing to adapt when circumstances change instead of clinging to the idea that things must be a certain way. If things don't go as planned, don't stress. Instead of getting frustrated, ask yourself how you can adjust your expectations and find a solution. The more flexible you are, the easier it will be to face chaos with a positive attitude. Try mindfulness, which is a practice that teaches you to be present and not get overwhelmed by emotions or thoughts in the midst of chaos. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about the future or past regrets, but mindfulness can help you stay calm and composed. It's so helpful to be able to recognize your thoughts and emotions without judging them. This allows you to respond to challenges with more ease. Just observe your thoughts and emotions as if you were an external observer, without getting caught up in them. This keeps you centered and balanced, even when everything else seems to be out of place. One of the most effective ways to handle chaos is to change the way you perceive the situation. People who are constantly stressed tend to see difficulties as threats. Have you ever thought that changing your perspective could help you see challenges as opportunities? When you face a challenge or a crisis, it's easy to think, this is unbearable or I can't with this. But if you reframe the situation as a chance to grow, you can learn so much from it. Think of what you can learn from this experience, and how this adversity can make you stronger. It's a change in the way of thinking that can make all the difference. When you change your perspective, you can see challenges as opportunities. Instead of thinking, this is unbearable or I can't with this, you can think, this is a chance to grow. Think of what you can learn from this experience. This adversity can make you a stronger person. This change in the way you think will allow you to see chaos as a teacher, which offers you valuable lessons. The importance of establishing limits. Chaos doesn't only come from situations that are unexpected or difficult. Many times, chaos is the result of not establishing clear limits. People who don't learn to say no or establish healthy limits are more prone to feel overwhelmed. It's important to set boundaries and protect your mental peace. One of the best ways to do this is by managing your time. Time is one of our most precious resources, and chaos often arises when we try to take on more than we can handle. So, let's talk about how you spend your time. By setting clear boundaries, you can take control of your life and reduce stress. Stress limits are really important for keeping your cool and staying energized. You should set limits on how you spend your time. When you do that, You're in control of your life and you'll feel less stressed. Stress can learn to avoid the things that aren't important and focus on what really matters. It's also important to set emotional limits. People can also cause chaos when we don't know how to set emotional limits. Some people tend to drain us emotionally. If we don't put clear limits on what we do, we can become overloaded. It's really important to know how to take time for yourself and protect your well-being. It's important to learn how to set boundaries and protect your emotional well-being, especially when interactions become overwhelming or too demanding. Inner peace is the key to staying calm in the face of chaos. No matter how turbulent the world around you may be, if you have inner peace, you're unstoppable. There are some practices that can help you find and maintain that inner peace. One of these is meditation, a great way to calm down. Hey, we know life can be really tough sometimes, and we're here to help you find some peace and calm. Meditation is a great way to clear your mind and let go of all the stress and worries that can sometimes feel like a storm in your head. It's super easy to do, and it doesn't take much time. Just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference. Another awesome thing you can try is gratitude meditation. It's amazing how thankful can make you feel. When you're going through tough times, focusing on the things you're grateful for can completely change your perspective. It's like flipping a switch, and you start seeing the bright side of life. It's always nice to improve your mood, and it's important to remember that the chaos doesn't really matter. The most important thing to remember is that you control your own answers. Life will always be full of chaos, but we can change that reality. What we can change is how we respond to that chaos. The key to living a satisfactory, quiet life and being successful is maintaining control over our internal response. We must accept chaos, learn to handle our emotions, and establish healthy limits. This allows us to navigate life's storms with confidence and clarity. Remember, no matter what's going on around you, you always have the power to stay calm and strong. When you learn to keep your cool, you become someone who can take on any challenge and keep your balance. Life might feel chaotic sometimes, but you've got this. You can be the calm and powerful version of yourself. Remember, becoming a person of peace and strength is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of loving and taking care of yourself. In the last few chapters, we've taken some time to talk about knowledge, self-pity, and self-care. We've learned some great tools to help us deal with our emotions and respond to life in a way that's not just reactive. We've also learned how to build a more resilient and calm mind. And now, it's time to take that next step towards making a definitive transformation. We want to become the most calm and powerful version of ourselves. Inner peace is the key that unlocks a life of lasting success, healthy relationships, and constant well-being. Being peaceful doesn't mean controlling the outside world. It means learning to master your mind and emotions. In this chapter, we'll explore how to integrate all the tools we've learned to create a life where calm is not just an option, but a lifestyle. The first step is developing a deep awareness of yourself. The key to being the most calm and powerful version of yourself begins with the self. It's important to understand that having knowledge of yourself and your emotions is the first step to taking control. Self-understanding is so crucial because it's only when we're aware of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that we can make real, positive changes. The first step towards self-understanding is observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Knowing yourself is the first step to taking control of your mind and emotions. We often leave ourselves to deal with our emotions without realizing that we can change them. So, take a moment to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Pause and reflect on why you're feeling this way. This gives you time to think before you act and observe without judging. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Hey, just a friendly reminder, when you're dealing with your emotions, remember that you're not your emotions. Your emotions are like the observer, and your experiences are the observers. It's really important to understand what situations, people, or thoughts make you feel emotional. We all have emotional triggers that make us lose our cool or act impulsively. The key to managing your emotional reactions is knowing and anticipating these triggers. Make a list of situations where you feel more vulnerable emotionally. We all know how it is when you're talking about something and you just don't get the feedback you were hoping for. But once you've figured out your trigger, you can start working on being more effective with the tools we've talked about. You can try breathing deeply and pausing before you react. Patience is so important on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. It's not just about waiting, but also about having the strength to handle setbacks and delays without getting frustrated. You know, when we lose our cool, it's like we're cutting ourselves off from this amazing quality that helps us stay calm in tough situations. It's like we're losing our patience, and that's what makes it so hard to keep going when life throws us a curveball. We all want instant results, but sometimes, that's just not how things work. The strength we've talked about before is closely tied to our ability to be patient. It's like having a superpower that helps us adapt and keep going, even when things get tough. Keep your cool as you move forward, remembering that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Patience gives you the perspective that what today seems like an insurmountable difficulty is actually a temporary stage that will pass. Practice patience during tough times so it's a reminder that life goes on, and so do you. You've got this. Stay calm and keep your cool in every moment. Calm people manage stress better. Hey, just wanted to let you know that being calm can really make a positive difference in your life and the lives of those around you. When you're calm, it's like you give off a vibe that invites respect, trust, and clarity. It's amazing how someone who's got that calm vibe, even under pressure, can make a huge difference in any situation. Whether it's a crisis, a negotiation, or just getting along with others, having that presence and being fully present in the moment is super powerful. It's like you're fully engaged with the present, without worrying about the future. When you're calm, you're at your best, and that's something we can all appreciate. Regrets of the past. When you are completely present, you can handle any challenge that comes your way. I'll present you clearly and efficiently. Practice mindfulness or full attention. As we've seen in previous chapters, it's key to maintaining this presence. Calm comes from the certainty that you have control over your answers, not external circumstances. The importance of breathing. Breathing is your tool to keep calm in a high-pressure situation or when you're stressed. Your first action should be to control your breathing. Take a deep, slow breath. See how that makes you feel. That's how your body and mind work together to reduce anxiety and restore balance. It's also a great way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation. So, when you feel overwhelmed, take a pause and breathe deeply. On each inhalation, imagine filling your serenity body with calm. On each exhalation, let go of any stress or anxiety. This will calm your mind and reconnect you with your inner power. Hey, why not take some time for yourself and work on maintaining your inner peace? Self-care isn't just a luxury, it's something we all really need. If you want to feel more calm and powerful, it's important to make sure your mind and body are in a good balance. Self-care is like a warm, cozy blanket that helps you stay balanced and emotionally ready for whatever life throws your way. Your physical health is closely tied to your emotional well-being. If you're not getting enough sleep, eating right, or exercising regularly, it's more likely that you'll feel stressed and anxious. Taking care of your body is one of the best ways to show yourself some love. Taking care of your body is super important for your emotional well-being. When you're well rested, nourished, and moving your body regularly, it's easier to handle stress and anxiety. Your mind and body are intricately connected, so when you take care of your body, it also nurtures your mind. Remember, inner peace starts with a strong physical foundation. The power of social connection, interpersonal relationships can be a huge source of emotional support. Surround yourself with people who encourage and uplift you. It's so important to take care of your body and mind with exercise, good nutrition, and enough rest. When you're in good shape physically, it helps you feel more at peace. Having good relationships with people who support you and motivate you is also key. They help you stay grounded and strong. Make sure you spend time with people who make you feel good and help you grow. And don't forget to set healthy boundaries in your relationships. This will keep you from getting overwhelmed. Remember, staying calm in your relationships is super important. Be gentle and kind with yourself and others. Social connections are a wonderful thing. They help you keep your cool, feel supported, and have the strength to face challenges. You invest your time in relationships that enrich your life and strengthen your spirit. It's essential to maintain your inner peace and apply calm to your relationships. Being a peaceful and powerful person means improving your relationships. Interpersonal calm benefits you and positively influences others. When you listen, empathize, and are patient, you can transform any interaction and make those around you feel peaceful and calm. Calm leadership is a type of leadership that inspires. Being a calm and composed leader is a wonderful thing. It's something that can be cultivated, and it's something that can benefit you and the people around you. When you're able to listen, show empathy, and be patient, you can transform any interaction. You can help those around you feel peaceful and calm. Being a calm leader is a type of leadership that inspires respect. When you're able to keep calm in times of crisis, you're able to make wise decisions and guide your team in an effective manner. When you're a leader, you can transmit security and clarity to those who follow you. If you're in a leadership position, keep your composure even when things don't go as planned. By keeping calm, you'll strengthen your position, and I truly believe that respect and trust go hand in hand. When we're in a crisis, it's essential to be able to make quick decisions and guide your team effectively. When you're a leader, you're like a beacon of security and clarity for those around you. If you're in a leadership position, it's important to stay calm, even when things don't go as planned. This not only strengthens your position but also allows your team to focus on finding solutions instead of getting caught up in panic or frustration. Remember, this journey towards a more calm and powerful version of yourself is a gradual process, but it's absolutely possible. If you make a habit of applying the principles of calm and internal control every day, you'll find inner peace. It's a skill that you can grow into by practicing it regularly and by being ready to face challenges with a calm mind and a strong heart. If you follow the steps in this chapter, you'll start to feel more and more like the version of yourself that can feel completely alone and in control, no matter what's going on around you. Real strength isn't about controlling others or taking over. True strength doesn't come from dominating others or controlling situations. It comes from within. When you choose how you respond to any situation, you become the master of your emotions and thoughts. This gives you the clarity and wisdom to navigate life with confidence, inspiring respect and admiration in others every day. Each new day is a chance to grow your inner calm and strength.